kable. Okay lang yan?
May ipit lang, may ipit lang. Galaw.
Okay, okay lang. Sagasaan na yung kable mo. Medium yun.
Atras ka muna.
Sige, sandali. Tulungan ko, sandali. Patay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wala na. Nakanino? Kable. Ano kailangan mo dyan? Oh. Ay, bababa mo.
Sinovac, together with His Excellency Juan Silian, Secretary Francisco P. Bukidnon. Invite the President to witness the offloading of the vaccines.
Once again. Omar. Please take your seats.
Please take
now. Wala na.
Describe na lang po kaya now witnessing the offloading of the CoronaVac.
At the moment, we are witnessing the offloading of the coronavirus vaccine or the Sinovac from the airplane.
It's Justin 54. Ako na lang. Ma'am, pwede mo ako na lang mag-announce ng at this juncture, may we invite the President to inspect the CoronaVac vaccine? Wala siyang view, ma'am. Clear pa nila. Mama ko mag-a-announce ng mamaya. May sasabihin ko na lang. Okay.
Ano daw?
Okay. Mama ko muna mag-a-announce. Pero mama ko muna.
At this juncture, may we invite the President to inspect the
Okay na, okay na. May we enjoin everyone to take their seats. Please be informed that offloading of the vaccines shall continue while the program is ongoing. A pleasant afternoon to all. Our event today is to join the President in witnessing the arrival of the CoronaVac, Sinovac vaccines in the country. may we call on Secretary of Health Dr. Francisco T. Duque III, the chairperson of the Interagency Task Force Emerging Infectious Disease, to give his welcome remarks.
Thank you very much. To His Excellency, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, His Excellency Ambassador Huang Silian, Senator Christopher Lawrence T. Go, Executive Secretary Salvador C. Medialdea, Secretaries, Generals, and Lieutenant General, other colleagues from the Philippine government and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China, good afternoon. On behalf of the Interagency Task Force of IATF of the Philippines, it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to this occasion. Allow me to extend our gratitude for the consistent support that the government of China has provided to the Philippines through this pandemic, from the deployment of the Chinese medical expert team in April last year, to donations of PPEs, test kits, and other equipment needed in our COVID-19 response and in our common battle to curb the pandemic and to improve regional health security. In the same spirit today, we are gathered here to receive the generous donation of 600,000 vaccines from the People's Republic of China. And this comes at much needed time as the Philippines is preparing to face the Herculean task of mounting the largest ever immunization program in terms of scale in our history. We deeply appreciate this benevolent gesture from the government of China. While these are challenging times, we express optimism that the Philippines and the People's Republic of China can work together towards a harmonious, sustainable, and healthy future. Truly, no one is safe until everyone is safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Duque. At this point, may we call on His Excellency Ambassador Huang Silian of the People's Republic of China to the Philippines to give his remarks.
Your Excellency Rodrigo Roa Duterte, President of the Republic of the Philippines, Honorable Executive Secretary, Secretaries of the Cabinet, Honorable Senator, I'm delighted to join all of you today here to witness the turnover of the 600,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines donated by Chinese government and military to the Philippine government and armed forces. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks to President for gracing this ceremony. My special thanks also go to the teams about both sides who have been working round the clock to make this happen. Sinovac vaccines have been inoculated in many countries, and its safety and efficacy has been well tested. I hope that the vaccines will help kick off the Philippines mass inoculation campaign honoring its commitment. China has rendered vaccine assistance to 53 countries and is exporting vaccine to 27 countries. This has demonstrated China's determination to fight the pandemic in the spirit of solidarity and to build a community. A friend in need is a friend indeed. It is a fine tradition between China and the Philippines to help each other in trying times. Despite the increasing domestic need of vaccines, China has decided to donate vaccines to the Philippines, and more Chinese vaccines procured by the Philippine government will come soon as expected. This not only shows the solidarity and friendship between our two countries and two peoples, but also signifies the intent of both militaries in fighting against COVID-19 and deepening our defense cooperation. No winter lasts forever. Every spring is sure to follow. As the Chinese saying goes, good neighbors are well wishers for each other. China was among the first to contain the virus and restore economic growth. We sincerely hope that the Philippines could control the pandemic to embrace economic recovery and normal life at the early stage. China will continue to do its utmost to support the Philippines until President. Thank you, all colleagues and gentlemen. Mabuhay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency Ambassador Huang Xilian. May we now call on Secretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., the Chief Implementer of the National Task Force Against COVID-19, for his remarks and to introduce our guests of honor.
To our President, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Sir, His Excellency Huang Xilian, Ambassador of People's Republic of China, Senator Christopher Lawrence Pigo, my fellow cabinet members, Executive Secretary Melby Aldea, magandang hapon. I'd like to extend our Republic of China for its donation of 600,000 doses of Sinovac vaccines, which we received today. The Philippine government highly appreciates the swift shipment of the vaccines despite China's limited supply and the logistical challenges that had to be addressed. The delivery of these vaccines is another testament between the Philippines and China. Our countries have been long-time allies, and we are pleased that this partnership remains as strong as ever as we fight this global pandemic. We will always be grateful to the government and people of China for coming to our country's aid during this difficult time. Mr. Ambassador, my special thank you to you, sir, for living up with your promise. With the arrival of these vaccines, the Philippines will officially begin its vaccine rollout. The actual rollout program will start on Monday at PGH and other hospitals. As we ramp up our preparations for the vaccine rollout, we call on our countrymen to take part in this massive and historic immunization program. As our President had said, no one is safe until everyone is safe. With the added layer of protection provided by the vaccines, we expect a significant decrease in active COVID-19 cases, leading to less stringent community quarantine restrictions, increased economic activity, and a greater sense of normalcy in the lives of our people. Again, to the People's Republic of China, represented here by Ambassador Huang Xilian, our deepest appreciation. Xie. Now it's my distinct honor to introduce our President, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea. Kindly sit down. I'm sorry. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr., the People's Republic of China Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Huang Xilian, National Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, Health Secretary Francisco Duque, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles, Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugadi, and the other members of the Cabinet, the National Task Force Chief Implementer and Vaccine Czar, Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., National Task Force Deputy Chief Implementer, Secretary Vicencio Dizon, Senate Committee on Health and Demography, Chairman Senator Bongo, AFP Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Serlito Subihana, and the other members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, PNP Chief General, Police General Dibol Sinas, and the other members of the Philippine National Police, Philippine Commanding General Lieutenant General Jose Faustino, Philippine Air Force General Lieutenant General Allen Paredes, Philippine Navy Flag Officer in Command Admiral Giovanni Carlo Bacordo, Philippine Marine Corps Commandant General Ariel Kakulitan, PCG Commandant General George Orsabio Jr., mga kasama ko sa gobyerno, mga kababayan. My fellow Filipinos, we welcome this day with high hopes of finally ending the COVID-19 pandemic in our country. Today, we make another step towards an ongoing fight against COVID-19 as we receive 600,000 CoronaVac doses from the People's Republic of China. I convey my sincere gratitude to the Chinese people and the government of China for this gesture of friendship and solidarity, the hallmark of Philippine-China partnership. I also thank Secretary Galvez and Team Pilipinas for working very, very hard. And I would like to personally thank Ambassador Huang Xilian for helping ensure the timely delivery of this donation. I said it before and I will say it again. COVID-19 vaccines should be treated as a global public good and made available to all, rich and no people should be left to suffer the ravages of this pandemic for whatever reason. Comprehensive global recovery hinges on the equal and easy access by everyone to life-saving vaccines, because at the end of the day, as repeatedly said, no one is safe until everyone is safe. Countries must therefore continue working together and do everything humanly possible to ensure a good outcome of every person. With this very important shipment, I am confident that more batches of vaccines will be available with great dispatch until every Filipino will be given the chance to be vaccinated at the earliest possible opportunity. I wish to assure the public that your government remains committed to a timely rollout that will enable us to confidently reopen our society. The delivery of this first batch, I hope, will serve as a guarantee to everyone that we are taking a big step in our efforts to overcome this health crisis. The delivery of this first time or resources in the distribution of these vaccines because we are dealing with precious lives. To our dear medical frontliners, allow me to take this opportunity to thank you for your valuable and selfless contribution to the fight against COVID-19. Sacrifices you continue to make every single day, even at the cost of being away from your loved ones and risking your precious lives just so to take care of the sick. As I have mentioned before, I assure you that the government will always be by your side, ready to help in any way we can. To my fellow Filipinos, please set your fears aside. These vaccines are backed by science and deliberated on by our expert, Filipino experts. To get vaccinated at the soonest possible time and be a partner in preventing the further spread of the disease. To those who will be vaccinated, I also urge you to continue practicing health and safety protocols as we await for the final approval of all and more vaccines. Remember to wear masks, wash hands, and observe social distancing. Your cooperation here is key and will be undoubtedly saves numerous lives along. With entire nation's support, I am confident that we will claim victory over this pandemic. Panahon ngayon para magbayanihan. Let us demonstrate unity in our shared task of nation building and healthier China dito hinatid sa atin. Maraming salamat po. Mr. Ambassador, I'd like to just say that towards maybe at the end of the year, when everything has settled down, I intend to make a short visit to China to just shake hands with President Xi Jinping and to personally thank him for this donation. Thank you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our program. Thank you very much, Mr. President. We are very honored to have you lead us in witnessing the arrival of the anti-COVID-19 vaccines, Sinovac, in our country. Again, ladies and gentlemen, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Para sa pagbabago, sawa na ang bayan ko sa magnanakaw na tao. Madilim na kahapon, ikaw ang mag-aahon. Sa piling mo, di ko mawawala.
May we request the secretaries to
Tayo na, Pilipinas. Tayo na magbago. Hawak kamay tayo.
May we request everyone to please take their seats. In few minutes, we shall resume our program.
Ikaw at ako, tayong lahat kay Rodrigo Duterte, para sa tunay na pagbabago. Masdan mo ang paligid, talamak mga krimen, droga at mga nakawan, dapat nang mapigilan.
May we request the secretaries to remain on stage. Thank you.
Hawak kamay tayo para sa